following is a presentation of the National Sim Racing League of America. Enjoy the race. Hello everybody, this is Napa Fan here, and this is race number 11, the penultimate race in the 2018 NRLOA Haas IndyCar Series. We are here at the Watkins Glen International Raceway for the Grand Prix of Watkins Glen. In past years, this event has been dual races, 2 races back-to-back on the same day. Today it's only one, like it was in 2015. Back when Tyler Selzman won this event. How about that name? And that season he won the championship, and the championship is a big story here today because points leader Nicolas Samudio has a very high opportunity at clinching the championship here today in the Haas IndyCar Series 2018 season. He's got 308 points towards the championship. He's 35 ahead of Colton Yeo, 40 ahead of the outside pole sitter John Andrews, 58 ahead of Roger Ray, 63 ahead of Justin Zeidel, and 66 ahead of Davey Johnson. All his drivers with the best shot at winning this championship. Everybody else is pretty much out of it at this point. And it's going to be very fascinating to see if Nicolas Samudio, who starts 7th, a great opportunity for him to win here today, can clinch the championship one race early. I'm alongside Nathan Stapleton. Everything's fitting very well together for Nicolas Samudio. He won the Indianapolis 250, got those 100 points for that win. That's what put him in this position. Do you think he is going to clinch the championship here today? He starts 7th. Now John Andrews is ahead of him, but all he needs to do, basically, is finish ahead of Andrews and Colton Yeo and finish enough positions ahead of those guys, and he's the champion. So do you think that our Indianapolis 250 champion will be the champion of the series at the end of the day?
Well, coming into this race, he has a good chance, but what he has to do, anytime he starts, he does not hit that wall coming off of that final turn and just have a clean race, because if he ends up finishing outside like the top 15 or top 20 or gets a bad enough one, John Andrews could sneak up right back up into the championship fight at Auto Club. So it's not quite over yet, but it's a slim chance.
He definitely could. Auto Club is not a double points race this year. The finale is not a double points race anymore. So if Nicolas Samudio holds a 46-point lead or more at the end of the day, he is your champion in the 2018 Haas IndyCar Series. You mentioned John Andrews, who starts on the outside pole alongside Jordan Lopez, who's capped the pole for this race here at Watkins Glen. Luke Rainey and Justin Zeidel in row number 2. Max Anderson, our defending winner here in the Haas IndyCar Series. George Harvick in the 83. There he is, Nicolas Samudio, starting in a great position, I should say, at the 7th position. Roger Ray alongside him. Adam Lewis and Colton Yeo not too far behind Nicolas Samudio. So the top 3 in points are all starting top 10 in this race here today. It is 15 laps of action. Back when we had the dual races, it used to be 12 laps apiece. Today it is just a 15-lap race, which means for the first time ever in this event for the IndyCar Series, we will have pit stops. Not quite sure how that's going to affect the running order at the end of the day, but it's going to be very fascinating to see how that affects the race here in the Grand Prix of Watkins Glen. Get ready to hear these engines around this 3.4-mile road course. We're green flag racing in the penultimate race of the season in the 2018 Haas IndyCar Series. Oh, and a huge crash entering the boot. That's back in the pack. Isaac Nichols went around, and Roger Ray in the 8 is destroyed. I believe he's the only one with heavy damage. That is a heartbreaker for the number 8 of Roger Ray. Had such a great season, pretty much the entire season, but just near the end, the finishes did not come. He came into this race 58 behind. Julius Anderson also involved. I think the rest of these guys were just trying to slow down and avoid it. Nicolas Samudio still out there, and John Andrews going for what would be his 3rd win of the season, holds on to the lead here at Watkins Glen, but he just smacked the outside wall, and here comes Jordan Lopez in the 14, trying to take the lead back from the 98.
Be careful of coming off of that last turn and smacking the wall, and he's going to have a good battle for the race lead.
Jordan Lopez to the inside of John Andrews, and Lopez is going to take it. Andrews has some damage. That is not what Andrews needs. And another thing he doesn't need is Nicolas Samudio coming up behind him. He is 4th right now in the number 5 machine. So Roger Ray have his issue, Julius Anderson as well. Both of those guys are probably going to be out of the race, unfortunately, because of that accident. Entering the boot on the first lap of the race, John Andrews fighting very hard, but Justin Zeidel right behind him. And Zeidel with a bold move to the inside, entering the boot for 2nd. That's going to allow Jordan Lopez to pull away a little bit from the 98. And Nicolas Samudio has his eyes set on this championship. He wants to finish ahead of John Andrews. He's the only guy right now standing in his way for the points lead. And if he can surpass him and finish ahead of him in this race by enough positions, he will be your 2018 Haas IndyCar Series champion.
The last thing that he wants to do is to make a crucial mistake, because we saw right there in the boot, if that happens, but and
Zeidel just overshot the corner. Another position there for Nicolas Samudio. Being stuck on that outside through the final turn is very hard to manage. There's Ace Garcia almost going off the racetrack. He's going to keep it together. And it's somebody. It's Cody Sill coming down the pit lane. Max Anderson's down the pit lane. Ace Garcia and Colton Yo as well. I did see some smoke back in there, but I don't know if there was an actual accident. And it's going to be very interesting to see how this shakes everything out, because these guys coming down definitely plays into the strategy. It's the first time ever we've had pit stops in the IndyCar Series here at Watkins Glen. And here we go! Nicolas Samudio to the inside of John Andrews, and that is going to be 5 points gained for Nicolas Samudio on the 98 if he can, in fact, get around the 98. Andrews is fighting hard. He knows that his only shot at the championship is to finish ahead of Nicolas Samudio right here. And right now, he is being passed by our points leader, Samudio, up to 2nd. It is a 5-point gap between 2nd and 3rd. It's 40 points for 2nd and 35 points for 3rd. So if they were to finish where they are currently running, John Andrews would have the slimmest of chances over Nicolas Samudio at Auto Club. The only situation where John Andrews would be able to win the championship the way they're currently running is if John Andrews wins at Auto Club and Nicolas Samudio finishes dead last. If Samudio moves up one more position and Andrews fails to advance any further, it is game over, and Nicolas Samudio will clinch the championship here today at Watkins Glen. A great run so far for Nicolas Samudio, but we're not really talking about Jordan Lopez that much. It's been a tough season for this team. Here they are with the lead on lap 4 of 15 in the Grand Prix of Watkins Glen. And we'll check back in here. Joey Hightower and Tyler, or actually that's Isaac Nichols. I think a lot of these guys have hit that outside wall like we see at Darlington with the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. We see guys come down as the race goes along to repair right side damage to their race cars. That's what they're doing here, but only the left side, because that's where the Darlington stripe happens here at Watkins Glen, is off that final corner.
Yeah, I've won here before at the Glen on the channel, but it was not easy, and every time you smack that wall on that final turn, it does more and more damage, and especially for John Andrews, that like he said, who we think already has damage, he can't afford to hit that outside wall anymore.
You are right, and if he does again, that's going to end the day for him. And right now, he's on the outside of Luke Rainey. You can't be on the outside exiting that final corner. If you are, you're going to shoot right to that outside wall. Great run for Luke Rainey. He got his first top 10 of the season in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series last Friday night at Chicagoland. And trying to back that momentum up here in the IndyCar Series as the defending champion. There's Jordan Lopez, and Samudio just hit the outside wall. They get super loose off that corner every time. We see it every year in the Haas IndyCar Series, and it creates some very interesting scenarios on the racetrack. And this is not at all what Nicolas Samudio wanted, but Luke Rainey had the brake check at entering 1. And here comes Adam Lewis for 3rd to the outside of the number 1 machine.
Where did Adam Lewis come from?
He split the middle 3 wide in between Luke Rainey and John Andrews, and for John Andrews, all he is hoping for is if Nicolas Samudio wrecks. That's the only shot John Andrews has at this championship, but at the moment, Nicolas Samudio would win the championship. No question about it. 1 race early here in the Haas IndyCar Series. We've had it happen a couple times where the champion has been determined in the series 1 race early. It happened in the Wheel and Modified Tour Season 1 and in the 2015 edition of NRLOA IROC. Might happen again here in the 2018 edition of the Haas IndyCar Series, and currently Nicolas Samudio running 2nd, holding onto the championship lead by more than 46 points. But Jordan Lopez out front. He's led the most laps so far. Will he get the win? We'll have to see what the pit stops do here at Watkins Glen for our leaders.
Yeah, because Lopez, he might be out front now, but pit stops, that will determine if he ends up winning this race or if he gets 2nd.
And Nicolas Samudio is a very tenacious driver, and I like to call him Mr. Edge. He keeps us on the edge of our seats. And, of course, the 2015, the Season 2 Chick-fil-A Cup Series Daytona 500 was always a memorable one where he edged Dane Ammon at the line by absolutely nothing. He is definitely a very fun driver to watch. He just fell back to 3rd. Luke Rainey got around him. Here comes Adam Lewis. I think Samudio hit the outside again. And I think John Andrews came down the pit lane. The damage is too much. You know, these guys who have already come down, they're going to have to make 2 stops in this race. So I have to see what that strategy does to those guys. I mean, John Andrews, if he gets the damage repaired and has a fast enough stop here, he should be, still in contention for a top 10. But they're now surpassing Nicolas Samudio rather quickly. I think the number 5 might be slow. I think he overshot the corner again. Marty Johnson, Adam Lewis driving around him. And John Andrews' wish might be coming true right here. Samudio is now down to the 5th position. He's battling for 5th with Marty Johnson as Jordan Lopez continues to pull away here at Watkins Glen.
Now what now I want to see is one to be side by side off that final turn and smack the outside wall possibly 3rd time.
That would definitely not be good for Nicolas Samudio. He's going to let Marty Johnson by. Justin Zeidel is behind him. I mean, still, Nicolas Samudio would clinch the championship. He's far enough ahead of Colton Yeo because Colton Yeo's come down the pit lane. There's Jordan Lopez, and you know what? I think John Andrews just started the cycle here. It's going to be a 2-stop race here today at Watkins Glen, and that's a lifesaver for Nicolas Samudio because he's able to come down and repair that damage without having to relinquish any spots on the pit lane. So this is definitely going to get interesting here. Davey Johnson will come down the pit lane. If I'm not mistaken, I can't remember if he's won here before or not. We've had 5 IndyCar races here at Watkins Glen. More than any racetrack in this series, even then more than Indianapolis. And I'll have to see. I'll have to go back and see if he's won here before. But I know Al Agassi's won here before, number 20. Cameron Garlington, Elijah Gordon, Cameron Gaju, and Tyler Selzman. Those are the guys who have won here before at Watkins Glen. I remember them all. How about that? A lot of these guys coming down, I think, had already come down the pit lane. Actually, no. There they are right here. There's Ace Garcia in the 27. He's already made his stop. John Andrews again overshot it. There's Colton Yeo. Went a little wide through the corner. Here comes Joey Hightower. Ace Garcia came down lap 3. The next stop he should have, if he goes to full cycle, will be lap 9. He should be able to barely make it to the finish if he does that. So it could possibly be Nicolas Samudio. Could possibly be the 18 here of Max Anderson. I think Anderson's already come down the pit lane. O'Reilly's already come down the pit lane. They're both ahead of Ace Garcia, so it actually would be Anderson and O'Reilly who would be in those positions to take the lead if they stayed out and everybody else had to come down again. But we'll have to see how that cycle works out for him. There's Jordan Lopez. He's already made his stop, and he is well ahead of second place Adam Lewis right now. Nicolas Samudio right there in the 5 is right now. Let's see where he is. He's ahead of John Andrews by 1 position. So they're kind of all over the place at the moment. Marty Johnson and Daniel Bouchard stayed out, but I gotta tell you, Jordan Lopez is out of here in the 14. He's got a fast race car for AJ Foyt Enterprises, but I'm telling you, these guys are just on the edge exiting this corner today. And we see it a lot in the IndyCars here at Watkins Glen, where they overshoot that corner there. But something else to mention is that Max Anderson's actually a lap down. So we thought he might be part of that lead battle. He actually isn't. But either way, we've only had 2 guys out of the race so far. Julius Anderson and Roger Ray. Everybody else is still in this thing, even considering all those guys overshooting that final corner. Jordan Lopez is taking lead back. Adam Lewis. Al Lagasse is now 3rd. Marty Johnson, Tyler O'Reilly, Luke Rainey. Max Anderson's a lap down. Nicolas Samudio. So Samudio is in the 5th position. Actually, sorry, in the 6th position, I should say. Thought he was shown 7th there on the leaderboard. He is shown 8th. Samudio 7th, and John Andrews is right behind him, which means that Andrews will still have a shot at Auto Club, the way they are currently running.
John Andrews, he needs to either A, stay where he's at, or B, pass Samudio and get a few more points, because the way that is, he has to be right where, or be right up in front of Samudio if he wants to shot at Auto Club.
He's right now still in the green to have a chance, and I think he's the only guy who would have a chance the way things are currently running. Man, Jordan Lopez hit it again, and Lewis did not, so Adam Lewis might close in on the number 14 for this lead here in these last few laps. But there's still going to be another pit stop in this thing, too, so you got to factor that into the entire event. I don't know, you might be seeing Al Lagasse get his 2nd career Watkins Glen IndyCar win, because, you know, he's been doing a great job in that number 20, and I think he's got a pretty fast car as well. He moved his way up to 3rd. I don't know where he started. Marty Johnson as well, definitely a great driver. Pikes Peak winner Tyler O'Reilly is right there, and then Luke Rainey and Nicolas Samudio quite a ways behind, and he's got a comfortable lead ahead of John Andrews. He would hope for Andrews' teammate, Justin Seidel, to pass him. I don't know if that would give him enough. I think it'd be a 4-point gap at that point for Nicolas Samudio ahead of John Andrews. But we'll just have to see. We're going to monitor this throughout the race, because that's the championship right there. If Seidel gets around Andrews, I mean, if Seidel gets around Andrews, Monaco gets around Andrews, that might be enough for Samudio to clinch it. But I can't remember how the points go all the way, so I'll have to see. There's Joey Hightower hitting the wall. He looks a lot like Jordan Lopez, I can tell you that much. And I thought it was Lopez going through the final corner there, overshooting it for the 3rd straight lap. But that was not the case. Here comes Adam Lewis in the 19, 2.5 seconds behind the number 14. We'll have to see if it happens again for Lopez overshooting this corner, because if it does, that's going to open the door for Adam Lewis. He's going to take the pit lane, and the next cycle's beginning right here. You know, they went 3 laps under that cycle of fuel, and they're coming back down, so they're playing a strategy so they avoid people staying out. We'll have to see how that affects those guys. They're going to cross the line with 6 laps to go coming down the pit lane. They might have to make 3 stops, and Marty Johnson could come home with this win. Tell you, it's a topsy-turvy race every time we come here to Watkins Glen. I'm sorry I'm not letting you talk too much, Nathan, but I'm trying to figure all this out. It's spinning around in my head like crazy. Samudio's down, so is John Andrews. We'll have to see where they all fall in line at the end of this cycle.
Yeah, I've seen
and
some
Lewis,
crazy races that
I'm going to mention here, Lewis got out ahead of Jordan Lopez. So Adam Lewis will end up taking the lead once this whole thing cycles through. I think they were repairing damage on Jordan Lopez's machine. So now Adam Lewis will be the points leader. Or not the points leader, but the race leader here at Watkins Glen. There's Nicolas Samudio coming off. He's going to have a couple cars in between him and John Andrews here. This race is spreading out, but we have no clue who's going to get the win. Adam Lewis was first off the pit lane of those guys who came down. So we'll have to see if he finishes the leader in this race. There's Daniel Bouchard in the 40 trying to get around him. I think Bouchard is battling for position with Adam Lewis right there. But Bouchard still has to make his next stop. Here's Marty Johnson, that other cycle of cars. Now these guys should be able to make it to the end, especially considering that they're actually going to stay out another lap. So Marty Johnson, Tyler O'Reilly, I should say, and Justin Zeidel. I think Zeidel will probably also stay out here. They're only going to have to make one more stop, while everybody else behind him who just came down are going to have to make another stop as well, I think. Adam Lewis is right behind Daniel Bouchard right now. I think Bouchard's part of that group staying out, so it's Bouchard, Zeidel, O'Reilly, and Marty Johnson. Those four guys staying out here, and they're going to be able to make it on one more stop. The whole question is, will Adam Lewis, and where did George Harvick come from? He's in 6th now. I think Harvick's also one of those guys staying out. Al Lagasse, Luke Rainey, Jordan Lopez, and Nicolas Samudio currently in the 10th position. You got to factor in Justin Zeidel here. He's 63 behind Nicolas Samudio. You'd have to gain 19 points on him to have a shot. No, 18 points, I should say. Zeidel is currently 3rd. That's 35 points towards the championship. And 10th, I believe, awards you 20. So it would not be enough for Zeidel to have a shot at Auto Club. We might just have to wait until we figure the points out and score 4, because, Samudio keeps on falling back through the field. That makes it so much more complicated for us to figure out who's going to be in the championship lead at the end of the race. Or, we know it's going to be Nicolas Samudio, but how much of a lead is he going to have? And Johnson staying on another lap. If these guys are going the full cycle here, those other guys, the leaders, they short pitted, trying to find a way to keep these guys behind them. But Marty Johnson, Tyler Riddy, they want to go for the win, and right now they're short pitting this thing pretty well to possibly get the advantage and the victory.
Yeah, sometimes it all comes down to pit stops and pit strategy, and that's what these guys are trying to do to get this win at the Glen.
That is definitely what they're doing, and they're not going to be able to make it to the finish without having to come down again, and already might try to get a pass on Marty Johnson before they come down the pit lane. Got to be running low on fuel here, and the tires are probably worn on these guys, but they got a pretty huge lead ahead of Justin Zeidel. They keep on racking that lead up. They might get out ahead of Adam Lewis, who's 25 seconds behind at this point. Marty Johnson's probably telling already, do not pass me. We want to have that advantage on Adam Lewis and battle for the win afterwards, but already he's not going to listen to him, and a pass for the lead on lap 12 of 15. I think this would be our 4th different leader of the race, as Tyler O'Reilly goes to the inside of Marty Johnson. They're side by side, but both these guys are going to have to come down the pit lane this next lap.
Oh boy.
Very interesting.
Well, I was about to say that they cannot go onto the pit road side by side, so one of them had to give, and it was the 15 that gave in. And
O'Reilly's going to stay on another lap. I have a bad feeling he's going to run out of fuel here. He is stretching it like crazy. Marty Johnson is down. There's Daniel Bouchard. He's side by side with Adam Lewis. Bouchard needs to come down the pit lane, and while that's going on, you got Al Lagasse closing in on Adam Lewis, and Lewis almost went off the racetrack. This could be for the win, because all these guys around him have to come down again. And Al Lagasse, taking advantage of Lewis being stuck on the inside where you have to check it up a little bit, is trying to close in for this lead. Now O'Reilly is still out front, but at the moment, once O'Reilly and Zeidel come down, it's going to be a battle between Adam Lewis and the 20, I should say, of Al Lagasse. I think George Harvick still has to come down for his 2nd stop of the race. I think. He's on the same strategy as Tyler O'Reilly and Justin Zeidel, as far as I know. As for Nicolas Samudio, there he is in the 5. With these guys coming down, he might get a better finishing position than what he initially would have thought. Of course, Marty Johnson's actually still ahead of him in the 9. But he's not too far behind Jordan Lopez at this point. Lopez had all that damage. He had to repair it on the pit lane, and that slowed him down on his pit stop. There's Al Agassi still battling with George Harvick now. Adam Lewis was actually battling with George Harvick the past lap, and now Agassi trying to get around him. So Lewis is in a good position to possibly get this win. But we'll have to see. Already, he's going to have to come down here. Cannot make it to the end without coming down the pit lane, and there he goes for his final stop. Will he be far enough ahead of Adam Lewis to get out ahead of him off the pit lane? All you got to do is put a couple gallons of gas in that thing, and you're good to go to the finish. That's all they need to do. They do not need to change tires. Just put the gas in the car. Same goes for Justin Seidel, and for Seidel, he's still got a chance at the championship. If he wins this race and Nicolas Samudio finishes 10th, that's perfect opportunity for Seidel to possibly steal this championship away. And you know what Tyler already just did? He went gas and go, just like I told him to. And we got a side-by-side battle between Al Agassi and Adam Lewis. Both of these guys can make it to the end, but Tyler already is coming off the pit lane here. Will he have the momentum off the pit lane to hold off Agassi? Agassi has taken it away from the number 19 of Adam Lewis.
I think it's going to come down to either the 15 or the 20. Can the 20 close down already?
We'll have to see. Already, he went gas and go. He does not have fresher tires, so the tires in the 20, even though they're pretty warm because it's been a while for those guys since they've come down, they're not as bad as already. So we'll have to see if in these 1.5 laps left to go in this race, can Al Agassi go 2 in a row? I think he won one of the races last year here at Watkins Glen, so he would be 2 in a row at Watkins Glen in the IndyCar Series if he were to get it done. Marty Johnson, Luke Rainey round out the top 5. Then it is Jordan Lopez, Nicolas Samudio. He is currently in the 8th position. It's going to be tight. He's going to have the advantage on John Andrews. Andrews has fallen all the way back to 14th, so we know that Andrews is out of it. Colton Yeo in the 88. He's not had a good day at all. He is 22nd right now, and Colton Yeo is pretty much out of the championship as well. But it's Justin Seidel. That's the one guy you got to watch for, and he came down the pit lane. He got off behind the number 5, so that's it. I mean, if Samudio finishes where he is right now with everybody else where they are, it's over, and Nicolas Samudio is going to win this championship. By the way, it's the white flag for Tyler O'Ritty at Watkins Glen, trying to win his 2nd race of the season. 3 seconds ahead of Adam Lewis and Al Agassi. Agassi overshot the corner, and Lewis got back by. Check in on Nicolas Samudio through the final corner. He's going to take the white flag, and this is for the championship. Chick-fil-A Cup Series veteran, Daytona 500 winner, Thanksgiving 500 winner from last year, Mr. Edge, keeps us on the edge of our seats all the time. And let me tell you, it's been edgy for him today in this championship battle. He is 7th right now on the racetrack, and he is ahead of all the guys who are still in range to battle with the championship for him. So we'll have to see. I think Nicolas Samudio is going to get it, and I think Tyler O'Ritty is going to get it. How about that strategy for O'Ritty? Staying out later than everybody else and going gas only on the final pit stop. And on this final lap, as long as he doesn't make a mistake, he's going to be the winner of the Grand Prix of Watkins Glen. How about that for Tyler O'Ritty?
I've been oh so close of winning you at the Glen IndyCars years ago. I never did, but he pulled pit strategy, and it looks like as long as he does not overshoot that last turn, he's going to get it done.
Even if he does overshoot it, the only way he's going to lose this thing is if he spins around overshooting the corner, but I don't think it's going to happen. Oh boy, it's a hard tap, but he's going to get the win. Tyler O'Ritty gets it at the Glen. Al Agassi 2nd, Adam Lewis 3rd, Luke Rainey, Marty Johnson. They're going to cross the line in those respective positions. Jordan Lopez, and here he is, everybody. Nicolas Samudio in the number 5. He's your 2018 Haas IndyCar Series champion. One race early, Nicolas Samudio hoisting the trophy of his first ever Napa Fan Championship here today at the Watkins Glen International. How about that for Nicolas Samudio, one of the most experienced drivers on Napa Fan. He's been racing since 2014, and now he is finally a champion on the channel. And it comes in the IndyCar Series for 2018, which means next year he will be piloting that number 5, or maybe another ride in the 2019 Haas IndyCar Series. At least, you know what, the way things are going to go next year, he might not be in the IndyCar Series, but either way, he's going to be in something next season, and Nicolas Samudio has done it here at Watkins Glen, winning the championship one race early. But how about Tyler O'Reilly? That strategy play, getting him the second win of the season here in the Grand Prix of Watkins Glen. The official standings of the race, and only 2 drivers failed to finish after all that, which is great. You know, most of these guys stayed out there on the racetrack. I gotta tell you, this was a great race. The strategy play, the guys overshooting the corner. The good thing is, you know, we didn't have a wreck fest. You know, they didn't keep on wrecking. And, you know, this was fantastic. I'm hoping for more of the same Saturday morning with the Chick-fil-A Cup Series Lake Effect Ice Cream 400K. Tomorrow or later today with the Turkey Hill Series coming here. We might have already done that. I still don't know when I'm uploading. But either way, you know, it's a good thing that doesn't happen till the end of the race, and didn't happen during pit stop today, which is good, you know. But Tyler O'Reilly, the winner. How about that strategy play by the number 15 getting it done here at Watkins Glen?
Some crazy fuel strategy, here on and all, and I had a gut feeling that might have determined the who won, and Tyler O'Reilly strategy and gets it done at the Glen. Good job, Tyler.
And of course, the bigger story is Nicolas Samudio winning his first career Napa Fan Championship here today at Watkins Glen, which is going to make the finale race kind of unnecessary one towards the championship, but hey, we're still going to have it. It's at Auto Club. It's going to be fun seeing who gets the final win of the season, even though the championship's not going to matter. I've never had a big series like this have the championship determined a race early. But Nicolas Samudio, you got it, man. Your first ever Napa Fan Championship. How about the resume of Nicolas Samudio? Daytona 500 champion, Thanksgiving 500 champion, Indianapolis 250 champion, double-digit winner, Haas IndyCar Series champion. You gotta love being Nicolas Samudio if you are him, and he's had such a great career here on Napa Fan. If we ever do a Hall of Fame, that guy is definitely gonna be in it. And you know, in a couple of years, we might do a Hall of Fame here. We got some guys who have retired who have definitely, you know, meant a lot to this channel. We might do that soon, and I'm looking forward to possibly doing that in the future. And like I said, Nicolas Samudio would definitely be one of those guys who would be a first ballot if he were to be nominated. Of course he would be, because he's Nicolas freaking Samudio, the champion of the 2018 Haas IndyCar Series. So thank you, Nathan, for joining me, and Nicolas Samudio can go ahead and celebrate his first Napa Fan Championship here today. How about that for the number 5 of Nicolas Samudio?
That was a great race, and hey, Nicolas Samudio, he's done something that I've never been able to do, and that's win a IndyCar Series championship. Congrats, Samudio.
Samudio is going to be celebrating tonight. Tyler O'Reilly as well, his second win of the season. A great one here at the Watkins Glen International. A topsy-turvy race, and tomorrow morning going to be another topsy-turvy race with the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. And their 5th race of the season after the dominating performance by Cody Sill at Chicagoland. Will he get another win? We'll have to find out when we head to the Glen. Looking forward to it for the Chick-fil-A Cup Series race 5 of the chase, 25 of the season, on the final road course of the season as well. Thank you guys very much for watching. Congratulations to Tyler O'Reilly for winning the race, and congratulations to Nicolas Samudio, your 2018 Haas IndyCar Series champion. On behalf of Nathan Stapleton, thank you guys very much for watching once again, and I will see you guys later. And before we end the race, this is actually a few days later after we recorded the event, and I realized as I was editing here that we never reviewed this accident, and it was actually quite an extensive one. George Harvick in the 23, 3 wide with Max Anderson and Roger Ray. He went around, and I think that was Anderson who hit him, then Colton Yo, Roger go around, and Anderson gets caught up in that with Agar Barretto, Davey Johnson, Isaac Nichols, Ace Garcia. The really interesting thing to note, though, was Tyler O'Ritty, the winner of this event, ended up just avoiding that accident. He was right behind it when it happened, and the strategy played out in his favor to get the win here at Watkins Glen. Congratulations to Tyler O'Ritty on the victory. And of course, congratulations to Nicolas Samudio, his first career Napa Fan Championship in the 2018 Haas IndyCar Series. Auto Club is coming not on Labor Day weekend, but the weekend after that. And hope you enjoy the MAV TV 100 when it comes out in a few weeks. Congratulations to Nicolas Samudio once again, and I will see you guys later.